All right. Good morning. It is Monday, May 11th, 2020, and welcome to another episode of Monday Mornings with Matt. See, we've got a few people here already. Good morning, Melissa. Looks like the Eastwoods are here. So good morning, Will and Jack. Awesome. Glad you guys are here drawing with me again. So yeah, it is a beautiful Monday morning here in Maine where I am. I hope it's a nice day wherever you are. Oh, good. We got Sophia here too. Awesome. So here's the plan for today. We're going to draw an elephant. We've had a few requests for an elephant, and I think elephants are really cool. They're one of my favorite animals. I actually had a story a few years ago. I wrote a story about an elephant, and I would it was one that I would tell to my daughter Molly every night when she was it was a while ago now, and she loved the story, and I put it together and sent it to my editor, and she wasn't as crazy about it as I was, so it hasn't gotten turned into a book yet. But I do have this book idea for an elephant that I'll do at some point. I need to hide this thing because there we go. Yeah, so we're gonna draw an elephant. Then I will share some of the artwork that you guys have done that I have received over the past week. I got some awesome stuff this week. And then at the end, I'll answer questions if you guys have any questions. So good. We got Josh here. That's another regular. Awesome to have you drawing with me again this week, Josh. And we will definitely do a zebra one of these weeks. I've got a few more weeks I'm going to do this. I know Josh has asked for a zebra a couple times. We'll definitely do a zebra. I kind of like that it's turned into this animal drawing show. That wasn't really my plan at the beginning, but it's been fun drawing all these different animals. And also hello to everyone who isn't joining me live. A lot of you are here. A few of you are here with me live, Monday morning. I've been hearing from a lot of people who can't make it on Monday morning, but they watch later, or some people that have been binge watching multiple episodes at a time, which is cool, and just drawing for a few hours. So it's been really fun to know that a bunch of us are here drawing together at the same time, and then people can join in later, which is always fun. Oh, we've got good morning, Mr. Van Cott and Miss Kim's second grade class from Quaker Ridge School in Scarsdale, New York. Oh, that's awesome. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. All right, I think we might as well just get started, right? For those of you who haven't joined me before, just to make sure we're all ready, basically you just need a piece of paper and something to draw with. I draw with pencils. I have these nice black pencils that I love drawing with. If you want to do color in your picture, it might even be better to just do pencil for now, and then later on you can add color. Like even in my illustrations, if it's for a book that is that has color illustrations, I usually start with pencil. And for those of you who are watching for the first time, if you don't even know who I am, my name is Matt Tavares. I'm an author and an illustrator. So I have a very cool job. I get to sit here in my studio most of the time. I live here in Maine, and I draw pictures, I paint, and I write stories for picture books. I have a few of my books here. This was my very first book. It's called Zachary's Ball. I have a few of my newer books, Dasher, Red and Lulu. Those are ones that I wrote and illustrated. Sometimes I'm the illustrator and someone else is the author for like my newest book, A Ben of All Trades, written by Michael J. Rosen, illustrated by me. So that's who I am. All right, let's get started. I'm going to switch to my split screen here. See if I press the right buttons. There we go. All right, and also if anyone has questions, just write it in the comments, and hopefully I will see it in time, and I will get to those after we're done drawing. All right, so just like when I draw anything, to draw an elephant, I'm going to start with simple shapes. And that's probably, like I've said before, my best drawing advice I can give you guys is when you're starting a picture, don't stress out about getting all those little details just right. Those come later. I always like to, when I have a blank piece of paper like this, I like to start with simple shapes. So for an elephant, just like pretty much every animal I've drawn, I'm going to start with an oval. Now an elephant is sort of a kind of a much thicker animal than, like, say we drew a tiger. That's kind of more lean and stretched out. So I'm going to start on my page with kind of a big, doesn't have to be exact, but just a big oval. And the other thing, like I've mentioned before, is these first marks, I'm not going to push down really hard because I'm not sure this is exactly right. It's sort of just something to get me started. Like if later I find out that oval, maybe it needs to be extended a little bit, I can go right in and make it bigger. So that's why I don't push down too hard right at first. Now for the head, I'm going to make a circle. So I'll give a little space between the oval and the circle, and we'll put the head there. I probably should have left more room for the trunk, but I can make the trunk kind of going down. Didn't really plan this out ahead of time. So now we have an oval for the body, a circle for the head. I think I'll go next and make some marks for the legs. And just the simplest way to quickly draw some legs, I'm going to make this leg coming forward, kind of like that. And then the other front leg, which is kind of behind that one, I'm going to make that going back a little bit. So it's like the elephant is walking. So it's kind of just like a stick elephant at this point. I'm just making lines coming down from the body. And later I can go back into them and get all those details. And hopefully I'm giving you guys time to keep up with me. If I go too fast, I'm sorry. Just write in the comments if you need me to slow down. And also you can watch the video later. And I'm pretty sure you can press pause even on the live video. You can't, the comments will be a little off, but I think you can pause it. But all these videos will be posted later on my Facebook page and also on my website, tavaresbooks.com, and on my YouTube channel. It's all, if you just Google them, you can find them one way or another. All right, the back legs, I'm going to make this line coming down like this. So there's one of the legs. And I've mentioned before, when I'm drawing for some of these animals, it really helps me to have a real animal to look at. I don't have an elephant here at my house, so I found pictures of elephants. So right now I have a picture of an elephant I'm looking at to make sure I get all this stuff right, because I don't have it all memorized exactly what an elephant looks like. Other back leg, I'll make the lines coming back. So now we've got the elephant kind of walking. And like I said, I like to get all the big shapes in there first and then carve into it with details. So now we've got the oval, a circle, and then some lines for the legs. Next thing, I think I'll do the ear. We're seeing the elephant from the side, so we're just going to see one of the elephant's ears. So right sort of on the back edge of this circle, I'm going to make a line coming down. The ear is kind of a triangle. There's one line coming down, then I'll make this line kind of going back. It covers a lot of the elephant's body there. Then I'm going to make kind of a curvy line going back up to the top of the head. Looks like a slice of pizza. Hopefully you got that. So now we sort of have an oval, a circle, a slice of pizza, and a bunch of lines for the legs. Next, I think I will start drawing the trunk. Now the trunk pretty much starts on the front of the head here. I'm going to make a line coming down. And then, the trunk can kind of go all different ways. I'm going to make mine mostly going down because I don't have a lot of space. I can make the trunk kind of wrap around here, but the paper ends there. So I'm going to I'm going to move my microphone a little bit. I'm going to make my trunk come down like this. And you can kind of have fun with the trunk. They go all over the place. And then I'll make it sort of narrower down at the end. And it gets a little wider as it comes closer to the elephant's head. And this, just like everything, I'm not getting all stressed out about getting it exactly right. This is just kind of these early marks to get things started. And then this elephant is going to have tusks. So I've got this line coming up like that. And I'm going to make the one tusk coming out this way. I guess this is more of a detail here. I'm trying to put my hand in a place where you guys can still see the drawing. So that tusk will kind of cut right across. And the other one's over here. I'll make kind of a similar shape. One cool thing that I discovered when I was working on that elephant story a while ago, that has not turned into a book at this point at least, was there's this really cool website for the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust. And it's this amazing organization where they rescue elephants. And they have like an elephant orphanage in Kenya. And on their website, you can actually learn about each individual elephant, like how they were found, and just see their story. And with a lot of them, they take care of the elephants until they're ready to go back out into the wild and reunite with their families, which is pretty cool to see. And the keepers, that's what the people are called who take care of the elephants, they keep diaries online, so you can actually day to day see what happened with each elephant that day, and pictures of them being, playing out in the mud, and it's really cool. They're such neat animals. So if you're into elephants, I would definitely check out the Sheldrick Wildlife Trust website, and you can even donate money to help them doing this great work that they're doing. The ear is like a slice of pizza or a spatula. That is true, Will. Yes, it is. That is, I believe, the technical term for a lot of animal parts is spatula. You learn a lot on this show. A lot about animals, spatulas. All right, so let's see. Next, we've got this elephant here. I think I will now start getting some details in here. Oh, first we need the tail. I don't want to forget the tail. Elephant tail's just like this little skinny thing with that thing on the end there. Those are not the technical terms. All right, the elephant's eye is kind of in the middle, a little closer towards the trunk end of the head, but it's basically just there. Just darken in a little eye there. Underneath the tusk, I think the bottom of the head comes a little lower than that circle, so I'm going to make a line down there. Maybe we see a little bit of the other ear, so we see a little bit of another slice of pizza. And I'll make that. I'm going to start making some lines darker now, because I feel like, all right, this is looking good. These are in the right place. So I'm going to darken in the ear. Like I've said before, when I'm drawing, I often jump all around the picture. I don't get the ear completely done, then the trunk. I kind of just keep jumping around. So when I'm drawing with you guys, I try to be a little more organized about it, so you're not like confused thinking, what is he doing? Kind of going to go around this shape. The elephant, the head, it's not a perfect circle. It's kind of like looks like there's kind of a bump up there in the forehead, and it kind of comes down into the trunk. I'm just going to smooth out this shape a little bit. And the way I'm drawing, like, this is a pretty realistic elephant, but different artists can draw elephants all kinds of different ways. If someone likes to draw more cartoony, you can kind of make your character have certain elements that make it clear that it's an elephant, like a trunk. But then you can have fun with it and get really creative with how you want to draw your elephant. But I'm drawing it pretty realistically. So now this straight line, I'm going to add a little, there's kind of like I guess I would call it a knee. Looks like a knee. Elephants kind of have knees, I guess. Maybe at the bottom I'll make it look like the elephant's in some grass. We're going to pretend this is the savannah. So at the bottom of each leg I'll put little grass marks. Alright, so the elephant on the back of the leg, it kind of like, it's like this extra skin that just kind of sags down there. And then this leg, same thing. I'll just kind of go over that line. Feel like that's in a good place. Now the elephant's belly, I'll make it kind of sag down a little bit. I feel like that first oval I made, turns out it's pretty close to what I think the elephant's body should be shaped like, so I'm not gonna change it too much. Maybe at the bottom of these legs I'll make it come out a little bit to show kind of where the feet are. What kind of pizza do elephants like? That's a good question. I bet they like all kinds of pizza. I bet if you put a bunch of pizzas in front of a bunch of elephants, I bet it would all get eaten. I've never done that though, so if any elephant experts are here and if you've ever fed your elephant pizza, let us know. Jim is wondering. So yeah, I'm just kind of going over these lines. Same thing with this back leg, this sort of like that, almost like got the knee and the back of the leg. The back legs kind of bend the opposite way, it looks like. I'm kind of trusting my elephant reference photo here. So a lot of when I draw, it's like I'm tracing something I've already drawn, where I draw it lighter first, and then once I feel like, yeah, that looks right, I'll go over it a little darker until it looks like it's done. Now the elephant's back, I'm going to make some changes here. I made it just sort of an oval before, but it actually kind of comes down like that and then goes back up. It doesn't have to be perfect, it's just to make it look more like an animal and not just a balloon or something. So now we've got most of the details on there. Maybe I'll start adding some of the texture, because that's a cool thing about drawing elephants is they've got all these wrinkles everywhere. So like on the leg, I'll just make a bunch of lines going across. And some lines even going down. And that's sort of like the stripes on a tiger. It helps make the picture, the animal look a little more three-dimensional. You know, by making these lines on the trunk, it can make it sort of gives that shape some form by making these curved lines. Same thing in the body, like if we make some kind of wrinkles going that way, it looks like the wrinkles just are everywhere. They go all different directions. Tuscan pizza. Ah, good one, Scott. Scott Magoon is the master of puns. That is probably their favorite pizza. Thanks for joining us again, Scott. And for you guys that are enjoying this sort of thing, my friend Scott Magoon, who just commented, he has his own awesome show he's been doing on Wednesdays, where he does a drawing demonstration, and there's usually a reading. He has a bunch of books where he's the illustrator and someone else is the author, so he's had some guests on where the author will read the story, so you should definitely check that out too. That's Scott Magoon. One of the fun things about being an author-illustrator is having getting to know a lot of other people who do what I do. Most of the time I'm sitting here by myself in my studio, but it's cool that people like Scott Magoon he's over in his studio doing the same stuff. So sometimes, like if I get stuck with something, like the other day my tablet, sometimes I draw on my computer and my tablet wasn't working. So I was texting with Scott trying to figure out how to get that thing to work. And I ended up ordering a new one, which is kind of exciting because I'm excited to get my new tablet in a couple days. Maybe I'll do a little shading here, like under the ear. And this is just if you want to just add a little more detail. Can shade that in a little bit. Maybe this back leg. Can shade that. Maybe this one's in shadow. Like under the belly there. This just makes it look like the sun is up above in the sky, and so things kind of down below are in shadow, like the bottom of the trunk. All right, I think we've got it pretty good here, and you can add as many wrinkles as you want. Just lines, kind of. They pretty much go every direction. It looks like elephants are cool. And hi to the Quaker Ridge School. Vegetable pizza. That's probably true. They probably eat vegetables mostly. All right, so that's a good looking elephant. I hope your elephants are coming along nicely. Maybe I'll add a little background. I think I'll make it so in the distance we can see a horizon line. And you can use your imagination here. Maybe you can make your elephant really wherever you want. Maybe it's an elephant who lives in the zoo and there are some other animals over there, maybe some monkeys or whatever cool animals you want to draw. I think I'll make mine in the savannah in Africa, because that's what I was looking at that Sheldrick Wildlife Trust website earlier, and it's such a beautiful place too. So I'll make some trees in the distance. And this is a trick I've talked about before, where it's a way you can make your picture look like there's space just by making something really big in your picture that's up close, and then something smaller that's in the distance. So here I'll make some trees, and the trees are smaller so you can tell they're way off, kind of on the horizon, far away. And then maybe in the way far distance, I will make. I found this picture of Mount Kilimanjaro. A lot of the pictures of the savannah. Maybe that's too high. Maybe I'll make it down here. Pictures of the savannah, you see these amazing pictures where the mountains in the distance. Maybe make some clouds in the foreground. I didn't leave enough room for that. You can't tell what that is really. Maybe if you make like a white cap on top. But you guys can have fun with your background and either make it the savannah with a mountain like I tried to do, or make it whatever you want. But I'll keep the background lighter too, and that also makes it feel like it's further away. Let's see, we've got Mark's favorite animal. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite animals too. They're pretty amazing and very smart. All right, maybe I'll stop there with the elephant. I think it came out pretty good. I would love to see your elephants. So if you're drawing with me, please send it to me, and I can include it in my show next week. I'm going to do a few more of these. Either you can just post it in the comments, or you can send it to me in a message, or you can, if you post it on Twitter or Instagram. I check for the hashtag #DrawWithMatt. Just to see if anything's out there, and so I've gotten a few that way. I think now I will share some of the artwork that you guys sent me over the past week. Gotten some really good stuff. Here is an awesome dolphin by Jack. Great work, Jack. Last week we drew a dolphin, so I got a bunch of dolphins this week. I like how you added some of your own stuff there. Looks like the dolphin is jumping over some other creature. Very cool. And good that you signed your work, then everyone can know who made it. Now also, if you guys think of any questions, write them there in the comments, and I can answer your questions after we look through this artwork. Here is one by Sophia, another awesome drawing, Sophia. I love it. Your son doesn't have glasses this week, but it looks very nice. Very cool, some good dolphins. This one is by Will. I like that you labeled the temperature of the sun. I actually Googled it to see if that is accurate, and it is 27 million degrees. That is really hot. But I figured that was accurate because you know your stuff. But I like the boat in the distance and the water. Very cool. This one is by, is that by Brendan? Yes, awesome drawing. Another awesome dolphin. Thank you for drawing with me too. This one is by my sister Melissa, who is an awesome artist. She can draw better than me. She just doesn't because she's so good at everything else. She does other stuff. But she is also really good at drawing. And this is my friend Steve. Every week takes a break during work, and he does my drawing video and he draws on a Post-it. So he's a little behind. He's a week behind. This is his penguin that is this tiny drawing on a Post-it. I think that's pretty awesome. All right, one thing I just wanted to mention too. This week I'm wearing my t-shirt from the Blue Bunny bookstore in Dedham, Massachusetts. And I just wanted to mention, if anyone's looking to buy books these days, it's a weird time. We can't just go to the bookstore like we usually do. There's this awesome new website called bookshop.org. They're not paying me to say this. I want to make sure people know about it because it's a great way to buy books from your favorite local independent bookstore. If you go to the website bookshop.org, you choose a bookstore, odds are your favorite bookstore's on there. Not every store is there yet. Like for this one, I searched the Blue Bunny. So then instantly I'm shopping at the Blue Bunny, and I searched for my own books. They have all my books. Most of them are discounted. It's super easy. It's just as easy as buying from the big online store, but this way you can feel good about it because you're supporting your local bookstore. I know they are all working really hard right now to try to keep things going. And if your store isn't on Bookshop, I know a lot of them are getting really creative with ways to keep selling books right now, whether it's curbside pickup or delivery. So please try to do that. And for anyone asking about getting signed books of mine, the best way to do that is to call G. Willikers in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. They are this great family-owned independent book and toy store. Call them on the phone. You'll get a human being who will answer. They're nice. They're super nice. They're happy to help you out. They have a bunch of my books. This picture is from normal times where I could just walk in there and sign a bunch of books. This is how we do it now. Jody comes up to my place. She's made a couple trips so far where she'll bring all the orders. I'll sign everything wearing a mask and gloves on my front lawn. But it's just a way that we can keep doing this stuff, even though it's a little more complicated now. But that's the phone number. If anyone wants to get in touch with them to get some signed books. We'll probably do another one of those signings within the next couple weeks. All right, I will stop there with that stuff. And I don't know if there are any questions up here. We definitely have fewer people actually watching live these days. I've heard from a lot of people who join in later. I think the schools have more stuff going on during the days. I know we had one school that joined us today, which is very cool. And a bunch of our regulars, which is very nice to have you guys all here. Thank you, Quaker Ridge School. Thank you for joining me. It's been awesome. It's been so much fun for me to start my week this way every week, sort of connecting with all of you guys who are here drawing with me, and then it's fun during the week to hear from other people who watch the videos later, and also to get everyone's artwork has been a lot of fun. So if you think of any questions, just write them in the comments. I'll check back later. And oh wait, there's one question before I go. James Olin, what's the best pencil to use? My favorite pencils, I'll maybe zoom in here. They are the light gets really bad as I get closer. They're called Nero. I just dropped it. Here's another one. Nero Krita color black pencils. Those are my favorites. I often use Derwent graphic drawing pencils too. But yeah, these Nero ones, I use soft. You can get extra soft, hard. They're different. The soft ones, they really allow you to do some good shading. You just kind of put it at an angle, and it's very, very smooth on your paper. So yeah, I would definitely try. I mean, you can draw with anything. Like you can draw with a regular number 2 pencil, but it's definitely nice to have a real drawing pencil if you want to get into some of that more kind of velvety black shading. Kathy Bunnell is here. Hi, Kathy. Could we draw an alligator? That would be cool. That's different from all the animals we've done. Yeah, maybe we'll try to do an alligator before we're done. Alligator, peacock. Got some good suggestions from Josh. So yeah, I think I'm going to do at least a few more weeks of this. I'll probably end around June 1st, I think. That's when my kids are out of school. So we've got, did you know that Mount Kilimanjaro is 19,340 feet high from Will? I did not know that, Will. That is a very high mountain. That's awesome. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's in the background of so many pictures. When you look up for pictures of the savannah, even pictures like, you can see it from so far away because it's enormous. All right, so yes, thank you all for drawing with me. This is a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing the work that you made. I hope everyone has a great week, and I will see you next Monday.